Hey guys, just Dan here at Daniel's Trains. I just did something I really didn't want to do because I like the length, but the layout here, the 4 by 12 foot layout had to be shortened 17 inches actually, because it was going over the door opening to come in and out of the room 17 inches. So I had to take 17 inches off this end here. And yeah, I know it hurt me to do it, but it had to be done. It was not safe to squeeze through that opening. And if there was an emergency, and for God forbid, if a firefighter had to come through here, he would have never made it through the balance of that opening without turning sideways, holding his tank, you know what I mean? It was just not safe. So I just finished going through a 2-hour power outage, which was driving me crazy. I don't know why it went out. So I come down here now. I cut the end off already, 17 inches. I put the spacer blocks against the wall back on over here. That's, of course, for my diorama on the background. I'm going to be putting taller sticks there. Sorry, that's my phone. Taller 2x4s there, or 2x2s, to hold up some background later on. And amazingly enough, this is the chunk I took out that went across the back. You've seen that on my videos. I wanted to slip it right back in here and screw it back in place, but somehow I've lost 1/4 inch of width. It's too tight. I have to take this apart partially and cut 1/4 inch off the end so I can slip it back in there. Where that 1/4 inch is, I have no idea where that 1/4 inch is gone. The only thing I can think of is that block there was not there when I took the end off, but I decided to put it back there because it's got to be spaced off that wall, and that it just drew the end over more, robbing me of 1/4 inch here. So that's a little bit more work. That won't take long for me to do, and I'm not going to do that right now, which I was going to do the install on video, but I got a thing about working and video at the same time because it's lengthy. And I don't know if you really want to see me cutting and drilling and, small stuff, no problem. Something really quick, but that might take me half an hour. I'm not going to put that on video. So just to let you know what I got to do, I've got to shorten the end piece now by 1/4 inch to get it back in there. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. I'm guessing. So yesterday was an expensive day. I had thought this over a long time, and it just made too much sense not to do it. It's a one-time purchase. Yesterday was kind of like yesterday or never, and the freedom of operation attracted me a whole bunch, and I grit my teeth together, and I went out and I spent $1,500. I bought a bit more track, but that's not the damage part of it. I'll show you. I picked up the Digitrack control unit, and it's a remote control. You can take the lead off it, put 3 batteries in it, and walk with it while you're operating your train. So remember, I was talking about, I got 27 feet of wall here to cover, and the $400 unit wouldn't allow me to walk around. I'd have to set it up like a station somewhere, run the train, and always be ahead of that train, what it's going to do. So if I were down there and I wanted the train to go through here nonstop, I would set it up at a certain speed, then watch the train go. Now as the train leaves this module one day, it's going to come across here and start making its way down. Well, you got to know what you want it to do going down the stretch, right? So you got to be right on top of that, okay? So you'd run down, okay, and then you're going to have to hit your switches. Okay, we're good. And then watch your train. Now something happened and you had to reduce the speed on that. Remember, it's right there. It's mounted. It ain't going anywhere. You got to run back and get that knob and turn it down, right? Or stop your train. So that was like a little uncomfortable for me to accept having to do. It was just a lot of work. It sounded like a lot of work. I'm sure there's people out there that are doing that right now, and I don't know how large their layouts are, but they're obviously making it work because they have no choice. So the system costs a little bit under $800. Brand spanking new out of the box. Okay. Now, this unit does a lot more than the unit I was possibly going to buy until they explained this one to me. It's $300 more than the other unit. What do you get for that $300? Well, number one, you get remote control, the freedom to walk around with it without the tether being on. That was one big thing that sold me on it. Number two, I can actually program my switches to operate left or right remotely from the controller. Okay, so I can take this, go to S mode, and the S means switch. Bring up the switch just before it gets there. I can be standing 15 feet at the other end watching the train coming, and all of a sudden I decide, I want it to go left instead of going straight through. I just hit switch, program, pick the number switch I want, number them, 1, 2, whatever you want. Number 4 and 5 has to be switched. Hit switch, and then you hit 1, 5. Automatically switches them for you. You don't have to touch it or put any buttons on the side of your layout if you want to use that. Now, I'm not a programmer. I'm not a computer fanatic. I'm a very simple human being. Matter of fact, just getting this locomotive every time I shut the unit off is a little bit of work for me to remember how to do it. And then I finally get it done. And then I'm looking at the remote going, how did I do that? Okay. So that's the kind of person I am. Okay. Yeah. So somebody who's tech-wise would figure this out very easily and understand the literature. The way they got it worded is almost like a programmer wrote it, right? So anyway, it does switching. The knobs, I can run 2 trains at the same time. Now, don't mix this up. I can run 2 trains at the same time, let them go, and then go back into the program and put another 3rd or 4th train if I want to. So basically I can, according to this board, you can theoretically run 9,000 trains. Now, I don't know if anybody out there has 9,000 trains and they've tried it, but that's your possibilities, okay? Now your switches, I believe it's 2,000. Again, it's the numbers on the keyboard that allows you to program all these numbers, right? So I thought the freedom of standing here and doing speeding up, slowing down. Now it has other features too. Now I don't know about the other system, and I'm sure they must have something like that. I can hit a certain button on this, and the train will start. So the engine starts up. You get your DCC program with the chip in it, and gives you sound, and the horn goes off, and the locomotive warming up, and then as you hit the speed to speed it up, it speeds up. The lights, you can control the horn, the lights, on, off, stop, 1 button reverse, boom, or double punch this, 1, 2, it'll go into reverse right away. So that's pretty cool. There's so many little functions on this. It's really incredible. I fly RC, or at least I used to anyway, and I got a radio, and I can do the same thing. I can put 250 planes in the radio. So I go into the program, pick the number plane I want to fly that day, and away you go. Same idea, right? So that was extremely attractive to me to do this. So now, what do you do if you don't have a DCC train? I'll tell you what you do. You go out and you buy one. Yes, I did. I'd like to show it to you. Now, I know you don't get the same kind of detail on an N gauge that you can on an HO. So let's not compare them, okay? This is an N gauge train. I'd like to tell you what it is, but unless I have the box in front of me here, I'm not going to be able to tell you what this is. Do I have the box? I'd like to tell you what it is. Oh, there's a Kato box. Nope. I've got too many Kato things here. Where's my box? Oh, there it is. Okay, so they call this a... Oh, fascinating. Go put your glasses on. You can't read. Oh, yeah. Sucks getting old. I think that's why I have to push not for kids when I'm doing the program, because you may just say something you're not supposed to. Okay, so listen to this. This little baby here. This is a Desert Storm. See the American flag in the back there? Where am I here? There's an American flag there. Okay, Canadian Pacific, 7021. That's the program number I'm using. There's the Canadian flag there. See that? So, right? It's cool, like that. I liked it. I believe there's 5 in the series, and this is Desert Storm. I think there's one for 5 different occasions. And this is the only one they had that I can go DC ready and just drop the chip in and it was ready to go. So this thing has startup mode, run mode. It has the horn, a couple of other things. I can turn off. Whoa, where am I here? I can turn off and on the headlights. She goes backwards. The lights light up in the back. So it does everything it's supposed to. And you know, the detail to me, I want to be careful with this. The detail to me, it's nice. I mean, how much detail do you need on it for an N-Gage? This is probably the most advanced and the most detailed locomotive I've ever owned. Okay, so an HO will probably have lines coming off the front, and I guess the back, you know, for the air. It doesn't have these. It doesn't have these type of things on it. At least I think it doesn't have it. Man, is that cool. You know, next time you're in a hobby, check one of these little guys out. I mean, there's enough detail there for me to say it looks the way it's supposed to look. Except for a few odds and ends, right? Pretty cool. Now, I was about to tell you what it is. They call it a SD70 ACU. SD70 ACU. And yes, it's a Kato product. I actually didn't realize that when I was looking at it, believe it or not. There we go. See that? So to get the setup, this was part of the $1,500 I was talking about. To get this set up, the train I think was about $380. They put a chip in it for $125, and they installed it for free because I bought all this stuff off them all in one shot, and I got it 4 hours later instead of waiting a couple of weeks because of his backup he's got. So that was really decent of them. Look at that. You got to tell me, that's enough detail. I mean, how much detail do you need on it, really? Now, if I was running a HOs and I picked up the same type of train and they had them there, they're over $800. And it wouldn't be a Kato, right? But anyway, it's pretty cool, huh? I'll get a focus on that. Okay, so this is my DCC locomotive with my Digitrack DCC power unit. Now, it's taken me a little bit. I've got the horns going. I got the startup going. I got the locomotive going. But every time I shut the system off and I got to reboot the system or, you know, start the power again, I got to fight with it a little until I remember the, you know, train, zero train. And you got to actually wait once you start the train because it's going to run up before it goes anywhere, just like a real train would, right? It sits there and runs up, and once it's warm enough, it takes off. It's pretty darn quick. I've only had it up to 50 on the controller, and it was moving pretty fast. I didn't want to get in troubles, So I didn't leave it at 50 for very long, especially on some of my corners. Now, I also learned at the same time that if I decide to buy the N scale big boy, it will navigate down to 11-inch radius. After that, they can't guarantee it'll stay on the track. So I bought more. I bought 3 sets of 11-inch radius. I believe that, yeah. You got that there? Yeah. I think Amazon is asking 13 or... No, Amazon is asking like 19 or 20 bucks for 4 pieces of the same product. They're selling it for almost 14. So to know I'm getting it cheaper makes me happy. Okay, so anyway, I bought a bunch of these, and I'm changing all my radiuses out to nothing less than 11. Just in case I do pick up a big boy. Now, I'm lucky because most of my track, I've been going over it. I've only had to change 2 pieces out that was not an 11-inch radius. So it's not costing me that much to fix, if you want to call it that. Now that I've shortened it 17 inches, the track, I was just in the middle of, before deciding to do another video here, this fine Sunday morning. And windy as heck outside, I'm telling you. You'd think it was fall. I got to shorten my track down by, looks like about 20 inches or so. So it's not going to be as long. I'm not going to be as happy about it, but I got to do what I got to do to make it work. So that's also where I've decided to put a switch to jump off the main line into the center line. And the other one will be put right here. And that's going to allow me to utilize the inside of the layout and give me more possibilities of where I want to go with that. The thing is, what I'm trying to do is build the track up. I'm not in a hurry to put up structures. Structures cost money, which means if I buy structures, I'm not buying track. And there's certain parts of it I'd like to decide. I don't know yet if I want the outside main line. I'd like to elevate it 2 inches and have it elevated all the way around to this side and then come down somewhere in the middle here before it gets to the other module, the other end. But just to get some 3D effect on it, I've decided I'm going to try to do that. I think I'm supposed to use up to a 2-inch rise on that for the end gauge. Unless you do a multi-rise, which means going around, starting 0, hitting 2, go flat out, and then hit another rise to go higher. I don't know if that's practical or it's ever been done, but I might just try it since I'm going to take the time to raise the track anyway. So that section here, from here all the way around here, and somewhere up behind me here will be elevated, and the center section will stay flat. And I'll have 2 lines jumping across here and running down here. 2 lines. So that's what I'm going to do here. That's what I've decided to do. It's like I said in my other video, it's just so much easier to plan when you got all the tables laid out. Cutting off this 17 inches off this table really bothered me to do it. I mean, 17 inches doesn't look like a lot, but you know what? It's another, it's like 1.5 sections of track, right? So, right? I'm not trying to be greedy. I know I got 27 feet of table here to go down and come back, and then across another, 8, 12, another 15 feet going across and back, and then it loops and comes back. That's a lot of footage here. So, I'm going to focus on track, so you're not going to see much modules. You're not going to see much housing going on. I'll probably I want to do a farm area. My wife wants a farm area. And yeah, she's from the countryside way back in the day. And she wants to see a farm area, so I got to figure out where I want to put that. And it's going to be all decked out with the, the barn, the house, the horses, the chickens, and stuff like that. And If it makes her happy, why not? And she's right into it, okay? She likes the miniatures. You know what I'm saying? I like them too, but they cost good money. And I'd rather take that money and put it into track first, then work on my layout, the mountains or the terrain. I just want to, that's all costs money, and you got to decide where you're going to put your money. And I think in my case, I got the track laid out. I got the tables laid out. All the modules are laid out. And I'm working on the track. I got the foam down. That little table going across there had no foam on it. Well, I took off those 17 inches of cable. Now I got foam. I can do that. So I can bridge the foam there, so I don't have to buy another sheet right now. This stuff is not cheap. I mentioned it before. This is ½ inch I'm using. And 24 inches wide by 8 feet long is $17 a sheet. So I wanted to get something thicker. It just doubles in price. So you got to make up your mind what you want to do here. Okay, so everybody's in a different boat. Or maybe we're all in the same boat. We're just doing it a different way. Wow. What to say here? Yeah, so I've had that train running. It runs really nice. It feels really good to actually kind of go through the real motions of a train. The start up, you hear the engines revving up, and makes all kinds of weird noises. And then when she's ready to go, you turn the knob. Well, I always have the knob kind of set on like 5. So the second the run-up's done, she starts moving right away. Like she starts really slow, no matter what speed you put it on. She starts slow, and then she builds up speed. And you just watch it do that, and it's kind of freaky. But it's new to me, so I'm really getting a kick out of it. Like I said, it's a lot of money, but I think that's the way to go. And another thing, as you probably already know, you can run more, like I was explaining, you can run more than one train at a time. So if you had a train pulling, let's say a coal car, and you had a whole bunch of them on there, and you can run that train at a certain speed to make it run. While it's doing that, you can operate several other trains at the same time. They may not, let's say, be doing the whole radius, the main track. They may be operating in the center track, doing something in there. While you're watching the train down there, okay, she's still okay. We're doing stuff over here. We'll back this train in here so we can offload the load. And stop this train. Hit the button twice. He switches over. You walk over, see how the train's doing. I think that's creative, right? It's giving you something to do, and it's making you think. Because without that, this whole thing's a waste of time. It's got to make you think, or it's just a waste of time. All the scenery and all the green and all the trees, it helps. Makes it look real. Or at least gives you that feeling that, hey, that looks cool. Or you just really like it. And it just adds. Like my mountain, it's, it's okay. But when I look at it, and I replace all those little fake trees on there with something that looks more real, pine trees. I was watching a video on Wire on how to make pine trees. And it's easy, it's fast, and they look good. So I can see that, okay? Somebody else may not see that right away because what they're seeing is what they're looking at, obviously. Yeah, so, but I'm getting something going, keep the motivation up. I'm doing good. I spent a lot of money here. I shouldn't have done it. I told my wife what I paid for the train, and she said, okay, no supper for 3 weeks. But I fooled her. I'm the one who makes supper around here. Right? Yeah. So I picked up this little, I don't know what to make of this. This is supposed to be an N-scale firehouse. I'm still not too sure if I'm convinced if it looks good or not. But it's going to end up, look, I put gravel in the roof. You see that? That's pretty cool, eh? Anyway, yeah, I'm still not sold on how it looks. I got some ladders with it and this fake looking fire truck. It was pathetic. I'm not even going to show it to you. What I'm going to do is look for an N-Gage fire truck. And that's what I'll park in front of this before I put what came with the kit. It was just a plastic, ooh. I'm talking about ladder. There's the ladder stuck. I got to watch how I swing these around. I got stuff on here. Funny. So I did a little bit of weathering on it. You see the little dark spots there? Nothing fancy. I just didn't want it to look like that red. I painted it fire and what the hell do they call that? Fire. Had to do with anyways, don't remember the name. Sorry. So it just the plastic was too red. It was almost, you know, like just way too red. So I turned around and I painted it red with, let's call it fire red. And then I decided, well, I'm going to paint the windows because it was all gray, right? And I just painted them brown. Now, if I was thinking ahead and it didn't come with this, I could have put cellophane in the back of the windows to make sure it looked like there was glass. And I didn't think of it at the time because I got some of that left over from another kit. And I could have done that too. Would you have seen it? Not unless you picked up the model and looked at it like this. Oh, look at that. There's cellophane on the, you know. Anyway. Yeah. And then somewhere down the road, I can run line cables from this to a electrical pole of some kind to make it look a little, you know, something that would really look the way it's supposed to. But anyway, so this is, I have my mansion over there. That's N-Gage. And this was the fire hall. I'm sure they build other ones that look a lot better than this. I'm hoping. I may replace it one day. But this was ultra cheap. I mean, this was under 20 bucks. I think I paid 50, no, I didn't even pay $15 for this. 12 bucks? It was really cheap. I was surprised. That's why I got it. I just wanted to see what it was like because I've never really built N-Gage structures before out of a kit. So it's, you know, so it works. It's going to be on the kit. It's going to sit there. It works. You've already seen the mansion, the golf course. That's staying the way it is. I got my second bridge in. I already explained that. I'd love to bring you over and show you what I did in the train yard, but I think that would be too much of a hassle. I've got stuff moved all over again because of the fact that I had to get on this table. So I'm going to save that for another video. So I think that's it. Okay, so I got a DCC locomotive, the SD70. Yep. And I got it all set up with sound and everything. I've got the Digitrack controller. And I hope it really pans out well. I just got to get smart and learn how to use the thing. And enjoy my Desert Storm diesel locomotive. Okay. Thank you very much for watching. Please like or subscribe would be nice. It lets me know if anybody's really interested in what I'm doing here. And we'll talk to you later. I'm Dan with Dano's Trains. Take care and have an excellent day.